In the wake of the 9/11 attacks, President Bush came to Bellevue for safety and strategy. On the one-year anniversary, we walked where the president walked, deep in Offutt Air Force Base's most secure location. Well, now on the 20th anniversary, we go back to see how it and the mission has changed.
It's a traditional place in which we broadcast.
On ABC News, an unimaginable question.
Claire, do we know where the president is at the moment?
On an unimaginable day, just where was President Bush after the planes crashed on 9/11? We now know, of course, after getting word of the attacks, President Bush flew briefly to Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana.
Good afternoon, I'm Rob McCartney.
And then here.
We are breaking in for a brief update on what's happening here in the heartland. Air Force One has landed at Offutt Air Force Base,
where he was rushed into an underground bunker. Well, now, 20 years later, we take you through that door.
So he pulled up and entourage of how many?
Okay. There's probably about 30 or so.
Mike Hoskins from the 55th Wing leads the way down.
It's still a secure area.
Down 3 flights of stairs.
He came down these steps, went this way because that was office area in there.
Into a labyrinth of what was then the top secret underground.
I'm sure they cleared the hallways.
Yeah. The elite guard pretty much was posted down here.
Right. You can see the red line. I mean, it was a secure area. So that Tuesday, he comes in. He goes into this door here. This was just a conference room. It had video teleconference all around.
Actually, when you see it now, it may seem underwhelming. Old, worn carpet, remnants of wire and unused outlets, walls and pieces of ceiling missing. Really looks like an abandoned office. But these empty rooms are full of memories. In fact, this is what it looked like in 2002, 1 year after the attacks, when then second in command, Rear Admiral Jay Donnelly, showed us where the president was.
Where was the president in all this?
The president sat in this seat right here.
Where President Bush got real-time information in the command center and addressed the people working to get him that information.
He said, I want all of you in this room to know that what you do for your country is important, and we need you more now. Your country needs you more now than it ever has before. Thank you. And then he left, and you could have heard a pin drop.
He left to go to this room for a secure video teleconference with his team back in D.C. Sitting next to the president, his chief of staff, Andy Card.
Nebraska played a big role for us on September 11, 2001.
And recently, Card told us how critical Offutt was that day.
That was where he got to hear the fog of war, because he went down to a bunker deep underground and saw the admirals and the generals that were there helping to make sure the military had a good response. But you could hear all the communications in the FAA, planes coming in, and they were doing a remarkable job.
Now, if the president had to come to Offutt now for security reasons, they would not go where President Bush did. In fact, there's a very good chance they would go deep into the STRATCOM's new headquarters.
This is the place you want to go to command the entire joint force, particularly under conditions of uncertainty.
That's where we sat down with Admiral Charles Chaz Richard. He commands U.S. STRATCOM now. 20 years ago, he was commanding a nuclear submarine.
What I did on 9/11 wouldn't make a footnote in a history book.
He says STRATCOM's history has always been strategic deterrence and nuclear operations, and was forced to make some adjustments after the attacks.
We learned on 9/11 that there were a class of threats that we hadn't fully prepared for, right? That required the military to change quickly in the time after that.
And it's still changing because the threats are. Richard points to China's and Russia's extensive and possibly growing conventional, cyber, and maybe most concerning, nuclear capabilities.
So the idea of having to deter 2 peer nuclear-capable potential adversaries at the same time who have to be deterred differently is unprecedented in our nation's history.
Unprecedented, like those attacks 20 years ago.
I think it's important that we not forget what happened to us on 9/11, what the nation experienced, how we responded to that, and not only the lessons for the moment, but the lessons that are still applicable today on what it takes to defend America.